signs you could have stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Boom.
I gotta do it in foot, Mama. I gotta do it in foot, Mama. Because I believe you.
Oh my god.
I gotta do it. Because I believe you. Because I believe you.
Papa is a bird watcher, so this is a really big moment. Today is January 7th, 2023. It is 7:21 a.m. I just realized that I didn't schedule any videos for this morning and I just made this public, but I just finished edit one of my videos, and you know, there were a lot of things going on yesterday. I stayed away from Twitter because I wanted to catch up on a lot of other things, so I'm sort of up to date. And then I messed up on this morning video, but something, I just made this live. I wanted to pick at least 10 tweets to share with you, but I think I ended up with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tweets. Let's go on Twitter. Okay, the first one is this one. Okay, he's selling stories just like the journalist that he says such negative things about. It's different because that's his story. He's telling his story. Okay, Jenny Clement says what Prince Harry really needs is a hug and some quiet time. He does not need a £1 million book deal. How do you know? The amount of nonsense you guys say about him where he had to leave. You think that 16 bathroom is free? Do you guys keep on mentioning it? My goodness, they really want to control this guy. I didn't even read the thing. I just realized this is the nonsense this person wrote. Oh my goodness. But let's listen.
Said, why would he even bring that up? Do you think in a way he thinks, if I'm going to share, I don't want to be accused of not sharing the bits that are rather shameful to me, I'm just going to get it all out there.
I think if you're sharing that much, you have to share it all.
Right.
And all of this sharing makes me feel quite sorry for him. I would not want to be born into any job, and particularly not that job. I would not want to lose my mother in such a painful and public way. However, I mean, these revelations make me think that what he really needs is a hug and a bit of quiet time. He does not need
No, he needs to speak. He stayed quiet enough. He needs to tell his story. All of the UK, well, let's just say majority of the UK tabloid wants to write about him, but now he's speaking out. He had 36, how old is he now? He's 38, right? He had 38 years of quiet. Okay, everybody knows everything about him based on the tabloid and royal voters' perspectives, but he's not supposed to talk about himself. He needs to say everything that he feels he's comfortable of sharing. He needs to say it all, because he stayed quiet too long. His family are not protecting him. Instead, they're feeding him his stories to the journalists. So now he needs to tell his story so people know the real Harry. He's not gonna stay quiet.
£40 million book deal, a 4-book deal, and a Netflix series. And the problem for me is that
I'm sorry. Let me move. Something is missing. I missed something.
A 4-book deal and a Netflix series. And the problem for me,
I missed it again.
And a bit of quiet time. He does not need a £40 million book deal, a 4-book deal, and a Netflix series.
How do you know he doesn't need it? I'm sure you would love to have that money in your pocket yourself. Well, how do you know he doesn't need it? Okay, there's a lot of charities. I think the profit of the book, partial of it is gonna go, I don't know if it's all or partial of it, is gonna go to charity. How do you know he doesn't need it? Okay, the thing he's passionate about, it doesn't run for free. When he flies certain places, do different things, Archie goes to school, I don't know. Don't you think he needs money for that? How do you know he doesn't need money? Fuck, man, these people are ridiculous.
And the problem for me is that he is guilty of exploiting our lust for royal stories just as much as the tabloid editors and journalists that he abhors. He knows that.
That's his story. That's his story. Okay? He's just outsmart some of you. How many books have been written about him? He needs to tell his story so everybody's curious. Guess what? He makes money off of it. The same thing anybody will do. Guess what? If my story was very interesting, everybody wants to hear. Don't you think I'll do the same thing? Hell yeah. So why you guys are writing about him if money is, you think he doesn't need money? So you guys don't need money as well. Don't write about him. Jeez.
These stories are going to generate news headlines. He knows that it's going to be on the front pages of all the papers, and he's cashing in on it.
Yeah, he better cash in on it, and I hope it makes headline everywhere, because you guys were spreading lies like crazy. So his stories need to be spread as much, if not greater, because you guys had painted a picture of him, make us believe he's a drunken person, he's this and that. Okay, now he's selling his story. I want to hear it. I'm curious. I want to hear it. And I pay for the book too. I don't know when I'm going to get it, but it's supposed to come on Tuesday, but we'll see.
I do feel really sorry for him. I mean, obviously, seeing these pictures of him as a young boy, you remember what he was. You remember that he was in the army, that he put his life on the line for this country. And I just feel really...
Credit for mentioning that. He did risk his life for this country. Kudos to you on mentioning that, acknowledging it.
Sad that his career now is selling these stories, and that is what he's doing. He's selling stories just like all of the tabloid journalists that he says such negative things about.
Yeah, he needs to sell his story. Okay, set the record straight, because you guys has painted a negative image of him throughout the world. The same thing you guys have painted about his wife, but none of you really seem to take the time to highlight some of the work Meghan was doing before meeting Harry and when Meghan was in the UK. You didn't take time to express any of this, but you planted, smear her name worldwide. So they need to tell their story. You pushed them to do that. They were willing to work for free. They literally said, okay, we don't need the taxpayers' money. They pay back the Fragmore. They did everything that you guys said. But no, you reject everything. Guess what? Life is not free. They need to have some sort of an income to pay for the lifestyle because they're not receiving taxpayers' money. Alright, then some of the royals write books as well. You guys just pissed because they're making money in a smart way. Let's see here. Let's read some of the comments. Okay, the difference being it's his story. Thank you. That's exactly that. It's his life. The British media are exhausting, honestly. People write memoirs all the time. This ownership people feel over Prince Harry and telling him what he is and isn't or should and shouldn't be doing is disgusting. Yeah, media vultures, royal sycophant and palace mouthpieces having meltdown because Prince Harry has finally taken control of his own narrative away from them. Speak, Harry. Expose the whole racketeering system between your corrupt, racist, abusive family and the media. All they needed to do was leave Harry and Meghan alone. Okay, just let them do the work. And I think, okay, I really believe that because I really believe Harry had explained to Meghan about the hierarchy in the family. Because when all of them were sitting at the something better up, no, not better up, that was way before better up, something together, all four of them were on stage. Meghan was saying she doesn't mind being in the background, learn as much as she can to maximize her potential.
And I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact.
So that alone already told me she didn't mind being in the background to help the futures, which is William and Kate, right? But they were too stubborn. Things have always set out for William. He knows things will always be handed to him. He didn't catch that, but instead he went on a frenzy of trying to destroy her. Let's read 2 more and then that's it. Okay, NASA climate. Okay, that's something completely different. NASA government. Just what is it that Harry wants from all this mudslinging? I just feel he is digging himself a big hole. I think the royal family are right by not responding to it all. It's like he is trying to force reaction out of them. I mean, he wrote a book. He wrote a book. All those headlines we be seeing is the mouthpiece of the royal family. Harry grew up in that, so he knows what he's talking about. Okay, if anybody have any sort of doubt, make all of them, anyone who dispute Harry's claim, all of them be hooked into a lie detector and ask them question. Okay, let's see who's right or wrong. Okay, okay, so that's that. Everyone complaining when he's making money from his own story. You guys are all clowns. Yeah, he needs to stop listening to his wife. Okay, Harry had already respond to that. He made all the decision, but yet you guys keep on saying it's his wife. Alright, so whatever. Let's move to the next tweet. This I just posted on my community board. I didn't read the article and I shared the link on my community board. Okay, this is Royal Suitor. Freelance writer and royal commentator R.S. Locke, quote, "These aren't teenage boys roughhousing. To come into his brother's home, hurl invective about his wife, and then accost Prince Harry when he tried to de-escalate the situation is simply beyond the pale. Spare." Yeah, I've said this, where Harry had, according to the article from The Guardian, Harry offered him a glass of water, which is in a sense of calming him down. Okay, but he didn't come for that. All of the thing William said to Harry's face, all of this could have been spoken over the phone. He could have called. William went over there to get into a fight, but thank God, I don't know, thank God Harry calmed himself down, did not get into whatever negative space William wanted him to be. And I'm glad he didn't fight back. Instead, move away and tell him to get the hell out of there. He didn't say it like that, but that's the way I got it. Okay, let's read. Thanks for bringing some clearly needed common sense into the conversation. Using the boys will be boys excuse with two men in their late 30s is just ridiculous. Plus, we all know what the spin would have been if Harry were the aggressor. All right, there's one comment under there. Okay, has Harry adopted Meghan's Compton ways? More on page 6. Yeah, more on page 6 to 17. Yeah, they're making fun of, remember how they say Meghan from something Kempton, whatever, like it's supposed to be a rough place or something like that. So there's, you know, Harry's in a calm and collective way. More on page 6 to 17. That would have been at least 12-page special investigation, no doubt. There's the laugh. So fantastic. Congrats. I'm so happy more and more your voice is getting out there and on a bigger platforms. How can we get you on network? Oh, who's saying that? Facts and 2 Cent podcast. Okay. How can we get you on a network cable news outlet? Will you want to if we start recommending you to them? Okay, thank you. I'm quite ready for TV, but I'm enjoying adding these kinds of interviews and podcasts to my writing. Okay, so they want to recommend her to speak. Yeah, the more voices, the more. I'm unable to see that. Yes, RS on fire, moving up in the world. Excellent to see this. Balanced knowledge, lack of difference, and a sense of perspective is desperately needed. Nice one. Okay, happy to add it when I can. All right, so yeah, I don't know, it's like over there it's like blind leading the blind. Nobody see the common sense of things. The guy went over there to fight with Harry and then to accuse him of something. Literally, he walked to his house. All right, so there's Royal Suitor again. All right, quote, I went into his incredible naive. I had no idea the British press was so bigoted. Hell, I was probably bigoted before the relationship with Meghan. I didn't see what I now see. Okay, Prince Harry awakening as part of an interracial couple isn't uncommon. I spoke about it. The reason I'm bringing this again, because there's another group of conversation in here. All right, so there's, I'm not gonna read all of it, but there's some other added conversation to it. It's 30 seconds. All right, let's listen.
What Meghan had to go through was similar in some part to what Kate and what Camilla went through. Very different circumstances. But then you add in the race element, which was what the British press jumped on straight away. I went into this incredibly naive. I had no idea the British press was so bigoted. Hell,
I don't blame him for saying that, and I'm glad he's tackling it heads on, because there was this narrative that was going on around the world. Okay, I think I sort of brought it on the last time I mentioned I brought this video. All right, that global of ways of separating people, certain group go certain way, this and that and that and that. Okay, this globalization of things was going on. So when they see Harry being with Meghan, they pick that part, okay, to continue their narrative in a way. But thank God Harry saw Meghan for who she really is. And I'm so glad he didn't mention it when they were dating. He didn't mention his courtship with anybody in his family, because they would have already discouraged him. All right, so Diana was working her magic already. Okay, let's finish this.
I was probably bigoted before the relationship with... I was probably bigoted.
Let me move it back slightly. I think I'm missing some part.
The press was so bigoted. Hell, I was probably bigoted before the relationship with Meghan.
You think you were bigoted before the relationship with Meghan?
I don't know. Put it this way, I didn't see what I now see.
Okay. I could understand him. Especially in the class system that he grew up in, there's no way he will be able to see it. He will not see it. And then none of his family were teaching him anything different. They're continuing the same racial kind of thing that was going on. It's until he stepped out of it by himself, he was able to see something different. Okay, let's read some of the comments. I don't want to say too much about that because there's one video I spoke about it very detailed. Okay, I think what he really meant is his complacency and bias due to his upbringing. I think this should be discussed more when we look at race relation and how people view these issues. These biases and complacencies with racism need to be addressed prior to this relationship, in my opinion. Hey, like the way he did going meeting Meghan and all of that, even when he first saw the IG picture, okay, and I think I brought that as well, he didn't really see Meghan's face. He saw all those emojis attached to Meghan's face. So he went in with a blind eye. He just saw someone, I don't know, maybe Diana was working something for him to say, go meet that woman. So whatever step he did to get to see Meghan and then to fall in love with her, just go watch the Harry and Meghan docu-series on Netflix. They explain that. Okay, he went in the right way, and then when he realized some of the things Meghan was doing and some of the things Meghan had been doing, and then the silliness in Meghan, the kind of person Meghan is, he opened his heart to love her to the next level. Okay, there's Voice Suda here. He talked about unconscious bias in the past and almost the same term you use. You don't have to be personally affected to feel empathy, and that's not what he's saying. But I do think you get better at understanding nuisance and dog whistles when you are. Okay, it's not conceptual anymore. The thing is that we see, especially in the US, they are preventing this type of discussion to happen in school. This thing needs to be taught and discussed in a control manner. When you have people on the street, you know, screaming at each other, it's not gonna be the right way to approach this. This needs to be talked about. Either if someone have a platform who could step by step explain things and then have people call in to discuss certain things, okay, maybe, but ignoring it is not gonna do any better. People need to discuss it, and as the discussion continue, maybe certain people's eyes will be open to see what they were not aware of. Okay, but it needs to be discussed. I appreciate his transparency and his willingness to acknowledge where he fell short, which of course led to a better man today. I really appreciate that his life was set up for him to stand still in his privilege, but he didn't. That's another very good perspective as well. Okay, he was willing to learn and grow. Yep, listen to some of my old videos, I mentioned that as well. Okay, much respect for Harry. He takes care of his family unlike the other horrible royals. Okay, this right here is why I respect that guy. Okay, those who've walked a version of Harry and Meghan path experience a baptism of fire. It scars you forever. You see the ugly racism from both sides. It forces the attacked couple closer, completely alters the dynamic. If the couple is truly compatible, all is well. If not, okay, while some of the revelation in the book are quickly becoming sensationalized by the media, such as Harry is circumcised, okay, how dare he reveal this, etc. One thing that forever prevailed for me is Harry's apparent honesty and humility. He definitely grew up in a white bigoted family. Yeah, it's documented. I've said this in whatever video that I mentioned this in, is that whatever we see going on around the world, it's pretty much them. All right, it's pretty much them. All right, I want to move on. Let me see, did I went on commentator. Did I skip something here? I think I did. I did a video. Shoot, it's already 20 minutes. Did I say that? Let me see. Okay, thanks for bringing this. Yeah, I did that. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't want to skip anything. Next tweet. Okay. This is Peter Hunt. Oh, spare us. 17-page special. Pretty much, it's sort of mocking the Daily Mail. They're complaining, oh, spare us, but yet you write 17 pages about him. Okay, there's me here, the 18 hours ago. I forgot I responded. Okay, so what Harry was supposed to do in a war zone. I remember September 11, New York City, Pennsylvania, and Washington, D.C. Just saying. All right, let's see. Why did I wrote this? spare us astonishment as he declared, I killed 25 Taliban fighters. Okay, so that's why I sort of mentioned what was he supposed to do. He went on a war zone. Okay, there's a picture of the World Trade Center, the old World Trade Center, the 2 buildings, the 2 towers. I mentioned it in one of my videos. YouTube blocked the video. Okay, blocked the video. When I found out it was because of that, I cut it out. Okay, let's continue. All right, so that's me here. The jokes write themselves. Spare us. Yet they write 17 pages. Okay, do they, what is that? Okay, sheep, I guess sheep. Do their sheep readers ever see these ironies when they are reading the 17 pages while complaining that they're sick of Harry and Meghan's coverage, but still purchasing another paper the next day? Okay, tap audio. There's that. Whatever's here, that's it. Okay, Daily Mail are twisting his words. The Hindu Indian Times wrote it better. Do Daily Mail want him attacked or something? This is not on. I think that's what they're aiming for. If you look at even when he was in the military, when they even disclosed his location, I don't know. They never had a good interest for Harry. I don't know. All right. Wow. What are they going to do when the book comes out? I guess there will be a special edition. What is it? I think they said Spain release it way before its time. I don't know. I think they did it on purpose because someone must have sold. Okay, I'm guessing. Okay, this is purely speculation because I don't know. Someone must have sold the book in advance. Okay, to sort of create chaos, not be able to catch who actually did it. They make it public, pretending they weren't not aware. They were fully aware. They were fully aware that the book was supposed to come out on the 10th. This is my speculation on that. All right. If they need sparing, why are they featuring his book? Okay, 17 pages, and Daily Mail want us to believe Harry is irrelevant. They make him relevant by having 17 pages dedicated to his book, Madness. Okay, we have no idea of the context and full situation of these stories. They have been translated from Spanish and then edited and reported by a twisted narrative of the British media. Why don't people wait until they have the actual book in hand? I think this is just for some of us, like me, sharing it with you. I think it's for discussion purposes. Okay, next one. Okay, if this person was Harry, I'm sure the Daily Mail will have got the Taliban to comment. Okay, Daily Mail, is this not your article? Daily Mail, your hatred of Harry in the name of being a PR arm of the palace is scary. By Emily Andrews, Chris Chip TV, Peter Hunt. Okay, she tagged these people. Hypocrite. Peter Hunt, I think he was throwing a shade at Daily Mail, him, because I think that was the one I just read. To say that, okay, you're saying his to spare you, but yet you're making 17 pages about it. That's what I got from him, because I've read some of his tweets before, so I assume, okay, my perception, that last tweet that I shared with you, I assume he was saying, okay, you're saying spare you, but you wrote 17 pages. All right, that's what I got from him. All right, but she tagged him on it anyway. Okay, there's this person. When was that? 2016. Another person who's saying that. Okay, I shot a man who was 1.5 miles away, and it took 6 seconds to learn if I hit him. British sniper recalled his record-breaking effort in Afghanistan. All right, so there's someone else talking about, you know, what he did in the war zone. Okay, how much have they paid the Taliban to comment? Okay, only snipers get a pass on saying how many people they have tallies, as it is their profession, and only in a professional setting, not bragging in a book. I mean, my goodness, the way those people really try to discredit Harry. I mean, I'm not saying killing or anything is a good thing. Like I said in that Peter Hunt part, I remember September 11, what happened in New York, what happened in DC, what happened in Pennsylvania. And I also remember, when was the first time it was attacked? World Trade Center. I think it was, could be 94, 95. And I remember exactly where I was when I heard they attacked the World Trade Center the first time in the 90s. I was in my science class. Okay, and I heard someone in the hallway in my high school who said they attacked World Trade Center. There was a bomb. I remember exactly where I was. I was in high school at that time. All right, so what was Harry supposed to do in a war? And then there were people who were putting bomb on themselves to come into the what is it, from the US and UK base to blow themselves up. I don't know. People seem to have a short memory on things. That's what was being reported. I remember. It's not that far along. All right, next tweet. But they're trying to discredit him every chance that anything that he said, especially if it's somewhat in a, I don't know how you want to take this, but whatever. Next tweet. There's Omid here. Okay, I'm anti-war, so any talk of killing is not for me. But it's wild to see how in 2013, papers call Harry, quote, hero prince, end quote. Okay, and they also quote him by saying action man, swashbuckling warrior, when he spoke about killing Taliban insurgents. Okay, a decade on, and now the enemy, he attacked for repeating the same claim. Thank you, Omid. Thank you. This is why I put this right after. All right, and Omid continue. And this is why context matters. Spare may have leaked early, but as will be the case with any book, the tiny snippet being reported don't do the text justice. Here is the section where Prince Harry talks about the realities of armed combat during his 2012 Afghanistan tour. Wow. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Afghanistan was a war of mistakes, a war of enormous collateral damage, thousands of innocent killed and maimed, and that always haunted us. So my goal from the day I arrived was never to go to bed doubting that I've done the right thing, that my target had been correct, that I was firing on Taliban and only Taliban, no civilian nearby. I wanted to return to Britain with all my limbs, but more. I wanted to go home with my conscience intact. Yeah, if you listen to some of my old videos, I've mentioned some of the things that when soldiers go home after a war, the things that they experience and all of that, and then you would think their government will help them, you know, with mental health and all of that. So there's Harry sort of saying it. He wants to make sure his mission was the right mission without killing civilian, which will stay on his conscience. So I agree with him. And thank you, Omid, for sharing that. Okay, which means being aware of what I was doing and why I was doing it at all times. Most soldiers can tell you precisely how much death is on their ledger, and in battle condition, there's often a great deal of indiscriminate firing, but in the age of Apaches and laptop, everything I did in the course of 2 combat tours was recorded, time-stamped. I could always say precisely how many enemies combated I'd kill, and I felt it vital never to shy away from that number. Among the many things I learned in the army, accountability was near the top of the list. So my number's 25. It wasn't a number that gave me any satisfaction, but neither was it a number that made me feel ashamed. Naturally, I have preferred not to have that number on my military CV, curriculum vitae, on my mind. But by the same token, I have preferred to live in a world in which there was no Taliban, a world without war, even for, my goodness, even for occasional practitioner of magical thinking like me. However, some realities just can be changed. While, my goodness, those people who's writing those vile things, my God, baggage for God, baggage for God. Why? Why do they have to twist his words? My God, my God. While in the heat of fog of combat, I didn't think of those 25 as people. You can't kill people if you think of them as people. You can't really harm people if you think of them as people. They were chess pieces. That's the thing. Yeah. They were chess pieces removed from the board, bad taking away before they could kill goods. Okay, I've been trained to otherwise them, train well. On some level, I recognize this learning detachment as problematic, but I also saw it as an unavoidable part of soldiering. Yeah, I understand what he's saying. You were in a war. Like I said, even in my comment, I didn't even read that part. And I was like, what was he supposed to do? He was in a war zone. And at the same time, and I said, I remember 9/11. I remember New York City. I remember Pennsylvania. I remember Washington, D.C. And then may God bless those souls who fought those terrorists and the airplane to prevent it from attacking, Washington, D.C. and some other places. My goodness. Another reality that couldn't be changed. Not to say that I was some kind of automaton. I never forgot being in that TV room at Eton, the one with the blue doors, watching the Twin Towers. Okay, there it is. I didn't even know. This is what I respond to the comment 18 hours ago. Towers melt as people leap from the roofs and high windows. I never forgot the parents and spouses and children I met in New York, clutching photos, of the moms and dads who'd been crushed or vaporized or burned alive. September 11 was well. Thank you. I swear, I didn't read this for me to write my response. I was like, what was he supposed to do? He's in a war zone, okay? September 11 was vile, indelible, and all those responsible, along with their sympathizers and enablers, their allies and successors, were not just our enemies, but enemies of humanity. Fighting them meant avenging one of the most heinous crime in the world history and preventing it from happening again. As my tour near its end, around Christmas 2012, I had questions and qualms about the war, but none of these was moral. I still believe in the mission, and the only shots I thought twice about were the ones I hadn't taken. For instance, the night we were called in to help some, Gurkhas. Okay, I hope I pronounced it right. They were pinned down by a nest of Taliban fighters, and when we arrived, there was a breakdown in communication, so we simply weren't able to help. It haunts me still. Hearing my Gurkha brothers calling out on the radio, remembering every Gurkha I'd known and loved being prevented from doing anything. As I fastening my bags and said my goodbyes, I was honest with myself. I acknowledged plenty of regrets, but they were the healthy kinds. I regretted the thing I hadn't done, the Brits and Yanks I hadn't been able to help. I regretted the job not being finished. Most of all, I regretted that it was time to leave. Yeah, because they just closed this location. Very well put. Did he say it was in 20? Here's the section where Prince Harry talked about the reality of armed combat during his 2012 Afghanistan tour. Let me leave it as that. Okay. The UK tabloid are real hypocrite trash. Okay, let's not forget this. Okay, support families forced to flee Afghanistan, Archwell. Over the past year, the Archwell Foundation has been working with Team Rubicon to help welcome families forced to flee Afghanistan. Yeah. Alright, there's that. Okay, Afghanistan was a war of mistake, a war of innumerable. Okay, so that's part of the thing that Omid just shared. I don't want to read it twice. British media wants Harry unalive, like his mom Diana. They are pure evil. Quote, it is a dirty game. End quote. Thank you, Omid. The difference is black. Okay, well, for me, it was when he regarded them as chess pieces. But when you're in a war, I understand what he meant completely. Okay, when you're at a war, you're gonna have good guys and bad guys. I'm assuming you will consider yourself a good guy. So do you want the other one to come and shoot you? So if they know certain places, things, I mean, I never been in the army to know all of this, but you could just imagine. Yes, it is what he said. All right, let's see here. That's 22. Well, for me, was when he regarded them as chess pieces. Let me see. Let me read what's there, and then I'm gonna go in this. This is very interesting. Okay, he married a black woman. That's the difference. Okay, Taliban's are terrorists. They kill civilians just like Germans in 1940, just like Russia and Ukraine now. When terrorists are committing war crimes, armed forces don't play games with them. People who judge soldiers are just ignorant and never experienced war, and it shows. Alright, I don't want to experience war. I never experienced war, but I understand him. But let me go into this. I'm not gonna read all of the comment. Okay, as if as if one wouldn't have to detach and somewhere to protect one's mental health and be able to perform the job. Okay, read the book, get context. In 2013, he was called a hero for doing the same job, and now the British media cussing him for saying what the media said about him in 2013. British media glorified the Taliban at the backs of heavy hatred. Doesn't cut it for me. It is dangerous. Yeah. The two faces over there, my God. Whatever is on the screen, that's it. Yes, that's how soldiers are trained and programmed for war, to dehumanize the enemy so they can kill them or be killed. Tough. But yes, that's the reality of being a soldier and sent to war. You have no idea what they come back as compared to how they were when they went in. Yeah, I understand that as well. Oh, so now you are changing what you were mad about before his real words were shown. Okay, this is the troll line. Okay, if you thought of them as your mother or your child, will you do what you were sent there to do? It's not rocket science. Okay, his word clarify what was training. Okay, what if it's someone explained to you that this is standard military training, dehumanize war? All right, so let's go. That remind me of Universal Soldiers. Oh my God, I did a thumbnails where I call him Universal Soldiers, but what I meant by Universal Soldiers, the movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. They dehumanize them. Okay, if you start thinking having sentimental value or human feeling connected to that, that's where the problem will be. Alright, so when you go to war, you have to remove the human aspect of that. Focus on what needs to be done. Just think what just happened, in 9/11. Alright, if they could do that, do you want to let them happen again? Alright, next tweet. Okay, Prince Harry's damaging book sets fire to royal family's curtain of mystique. All right, let's see here. What mystique? You have a lying, corrupted king who bitch about his own cold, heartless, bullying parents. A king who not only cheated on his wife but his mistress too. He sells titles for money, bullies his family and staff, and protects peddlers. A man whose desire is to be a tampon. Oh my God, I'm laughing. It's true though. But when you this, some of you might disagree with me. Sometimes you have to differentiate. Okay, shuffle things out and to see each part for its individuality kind of thing. Entity. That's the word. Entity. This part here, and protects peddlers. The part that I'm taking out of this, his brother. So when you think about it, you could sort of understand why, if he is protecting his brother right now. But the others, the civil, those priests, I think there was a part where I read he gave a priest his house to stay in because police were investigating him. It's in one of my videos. Okay, not these. I'm talking about his brother only. Okay, you could sort of have an idea why he will maybe protect his pedo brother, maybe the same way the queen was protecting Andrew. All right, so that's just that part. I have a lot of video regarding Andrew and Virginia Giuffre. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but I'm just saying. Okay, the book. Okay, but not the bags of cash for honor and many friendship with pedophiles. Seriously, the UK is really strange. Okay, I mean, that's where all the stuff originated. I've been saying it, and it's shocking to see I was right, because everything that I say in this and all of my videos are humble opinion. You could look at the corner. I put it at the corner just in case I forget to mention it. It stays there. All right. What is that mistake that you Brits want? Prince William assaulting his brother William and Kate Middleton loving Nazi uniform. Charles unavailable father cover-ups. I would rather have a king like Prince Harry who is better, authentic person aware of his shortcomings, etc. Alright, I can cheer to that. Authenticity all damn day. Alright, there's never been any mistake about them. They were always hillbillies and will forever be. They are traitor, trash with money. Okay, I cry real tears listening to this. There's the laugh. Alright, let's go to the next tweet, and this is War-Omid. Okay, I put a note. War-Omid. Alright, this story is so much more than, quote, angry prince attacks the monarchy, off with his head, end quote. Just like the Charles book in 1994, Harry is revealing the impassable challenges and cruelties faced by a family trapped in a gilded cage. Alright, so he wrote an article. You could search for it on Yahoo, I guess. Alright, because every week he has a column. I don't know if it's once a week or twice a week. Alright, there's me here. They should have left his wife alone. Yeah, that's all I said. They should have left his wife alone. Fact. Yeah, because if they had left Harry with his wife, whoever he decided to marry, just stay out of his personal, whatever he does with his wife. Okay, just let him do his work. None of this. Whatever you see happening now with Harry writing books, Archwell, Harry and Meghan docuseries, none of this would be there if they had just let him be, and everybody in the royal family mind their own business and just show respect when they are in the same room. That's it. Okay, that's all they had to do. But no, they want to control everything, and Harry was like, no, this is it. You guys will not provide me a family that there's a mother and father and children, that you need family. You not willing to do that? I'm gonna create it. Now when I create it, stay the F away from it. Okay, stay the F out of it. Alright, so they bug him until he had to leave, and now he's making a path for future royals, I guess, and making a life for himself. Alright, facts, 100%. Another excellent article. There's the clap. Excellent article, Omid. Surely even you can defend the book and the blatant invasion of privacy. It is on his family, on the hypocrisy. Guess what? That's his story. Whoever he encountered, whoever he met, as long it's his perspective. Just like when I put that number 9, okay, or 6, depend on which position you stand on that number. All right, you tell your side. Okay, if you see a 6, you say it's a 6. If you stand on the other side of that number, you say it's a 9, you say it's a 9. Now, whoever Harry mentioned in the book, they feel like they have something different to say. Guess what? They could do the same thing. Say their version. But this is Harry's story, so we cannot dispute that. This is his story. He's not going out of his way to write about somebody else. The man has bragged about killing 25 people, viewing them as chess piece. He is an utter disgrace. Well, I don't think so, because I remember those people flying off those buildings, burning and all of that. I remember that. Sure, my God. Okay, quite right, Omid. I suspect it's also a therapeutic process and part of his own healing journey from lifelong abuse. I admire his strength and willingness to be vulnerable and telling his story. That's the part here. His story, right and all. Alright, another great write-up, Omid, from a well-rounded journalist. Looking forward to the hard book and audio. I think I'm gonna buy the audio as well, because I don't think whenever I'm not doing podcasts or something like that, I'm doing something else besides when I'm working with my kids with school. I have to be moving, doing something, clean the house or do whatever. So the podcast will be, the audiobook will be good. I think I'm gonna buy it. Alright, next tweet. That's Peter Hunt again. Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace have declined to comment. Alright, King, all Harry has to do is call me. I mean, he did try when he needed the most, but instead, you don't pick up his phone. A stranger had to help him. My goodness, Tyler Perry had to help him. Alright, I didn't forget. I don't know. Do we have short-term memory or something? Alright, Harry was clear. The leaking is coming from BP and KP. He said that they will always address the issue as no comment, we decline. They are weak. The institution is weak. The royal family this week. This week, WEAK. Alright, embarrassment, and they are panicking. All lies, no leadership. Go away, royal family and KFC3. Alright, I put the F in it, literally. Did KFC3 say this again through their royal mouthpiece? If he said this, is not BP still commenting? Who gave the tabloid this info? The palace is looking really bad and stupid with their continuous press leaking. The whole column is Buckingham Palace talking. Yeah, that's what Harry said. Usually they just say that thing and then they pretend that it's not them. Okay, they can't help themselves. They'll never learn. Kudos to Harry to have brought this dysfunctional family to the worldwide ground. Okay, to the worldwide ground. So was this a leak, a brief, or a plant? There's that. All they've done is comment non-stop through the tabloid. Okay, briefing. Okay, Witch King, the heartless, lying, corrupt Mr. Tempax after die. Okay, her late mother was only once invited to visit her heartbroken grandkids at Highgrove. He stopped the boys from visiting her. That is why she banned Charles from attending her funeral. That is why. Okay, I don't know anything about that. Okay, more of the same then. Okay, LOL. Also, Harry said the ball is in their court, so even though Chuck is sending a message, I doubt this is what Harry expected. Okay, LOL. Hilarious that everything Harry says they confirm in real time. Such arrogant. They don't know any different. This is the only blueprint they know. Because God forbid William and Charles should ever admit to mistakes. Pride does indeed come before a fall. Alright, let me move to the next one. Oh my god, it's already 49 minutes. I feel like I just started. Next tweet regarding book. Alright, these are the books written by so-called royal experts about Prince Harry. Most of these books are based on gossip. Alright, I purposely put this here because everybody wants to talk about him. Everybody wants to write a book about him. But when he write about himself, it's a problem. He should be quiet. He should this. He's making money. How much money did these people make off those books? Why can't he make money of his own? Alright, it will be great to hear from the man himself instead of a bunch of people who don't know him or even met him. Okay, the expert witness of his own life, Angela Levine legitimacy regarding knowing about him will be cut off. Alright, the monarchists are happy to consume stories about Harry and Meghan by quote palace insiders and quote royal expert and even body language expert, but are aghast when Harry and Meghan want to tell their own story themselves. Okay, I didn't know there were so many. I bet Lady Colin Campbell put her two bobs worth in. Okay, and of course you will know since you've read them all. I said, right, everybody's upset at him telling his life story, but are okay with others doing it without his consent. Make it make sense. That's the thing we're trying to make sense out of. Okay, good King Harry must doesn't need anyone's permission or approval to tell his own story and his own word. No rumors, no imaginings, no suppositions. His truth, his voice, and his time. Where are the books on William? They don't sell? The last one here, Harry hasn't got the attention span to write a book. It's written for him. Okay, whatever you want, but Harry was the smartest one. That's something I saw. I need to look for that tweet where I don't know if it's really from the book, but it was said it was from the book that Harry told his father not to marry Camilla. And I think maybe this is where they decided to divide the brothers, because he knew or she knew, if this is true. I've talked about the division of the brothers. So if this is true, that might be the reason why they went on the thing to divide the brothers, because Harry is a very smart man and he's the only smart one. like I said, he was the one who was the smartest and closest to all of the heirs. So that was a big no-no to those people who keep on advising those heirs, and in a bad way, I think. All right, so that's that. When I come across that tweet, I'll be more happy to share it with you. All right, next tweet. Okay, Prince William, Diana's eldest son, is absolutely low down. My God, this is heartbreaking. Spare via Kaiser, okay, at CB. Let's see here. Something from the Spare. Quote, he been scheduled to join us for the evening, but the likes Meg's father, Thomas Markle, he canceled last minute. Wow. The Duke of Sussex, 38, wrote in his Spare memoir, which Us Weekly can exclusively reveal, quote, he told me just before he attended tea with Granny, quote, can't do it, Harold. That Harold keep on coming. All right. I guess that's the way they call him over there. Can't do it, Harold, Kate and the kids. End quote. I reminded him that this was our tradition, that we had dinner before his wedding, that we've gone together and visited the crowds. He held fast. Can't do it. Oh my God. Some of the things that I've said, not in that sense, but how Harry, when Kate married into the family, how Harry was more than welcome Kate and all of that, but they didn't do that for him when it was his time. My goodness, what was so busy for you to do? Certain things could be at rest, or maybe ask him, can you reschedule for a different time? Maybe it would be better for me if it is an engagement you were doing. Okay, yes, the engagement, if it is, I'm just saying, okay, if he was so busy, the only busy thing that would prevent him from doing it, if he had to do an engagement, because this is where the taxpayers' money come in, right? But if it's something else, him hanging out with his friends or whatever, that could be put on hold for a different time. But your brother, give him the time. All right, so let's go to the next one. I think it continues. Okay, quote, I've always believed, despite our problems, that our underlying bond was strong. End quote. He continued, nothing that he reminded William about the tradition that started from his wedding to Princess Kate. Quote, as we drove off, I asked him to come and have dinner with me. I mentioned maybe staying the night, as I done before his wedding. Wow. He come for dinner, he said, but wouldn't be able to stay. Oh God. Yeah, Harry didn't get the support. I'm wondering if Harry had said, okay, if you won't be doing that, I'll snatch you to stand as my best man. I don't know. That's what I would have done, because that's what the best man's supposed to do. Oh my God. And we talk about it in different tweets, different videos, where they put him because it will look bad for the institution. But Harry, this is the thing, this is the sacrifice Harry had to do for the institution, even though his brother wasn't there for him. But he had to put up with it for him to stand next to him, when in fact it was a freaking backstabbing. He didn't even want him to marry her. So why was he standing next to him at the altar as a best man? We spoke, the squad saw that. All right, let's continue. According to Harry, William previously warned him not to propose to Meghan, 41, too quickly into their relationship. Quote, it's too fast, he told me, too soon, he claimed. In fact, he actually been pretty discouraging about my even dating Meg. Wow. He really didn't want that relationship for him. Okay, one day, sitting together in his garden, he predicted a host of difficulties I could expect if I hooked up with an American actress. There's the thing he's giving him. If you do that, this is what I will do. This is the nonsense we're seeing here. This thing been going on, that kind of mentality. I still remember seeing that image of Harry picking up that puppy. Okay, Harry wanted to cuddle with the puppy. As soon as he got a good grip of the puppy, he made Harry put the puppy down. And this is the thing, that I guess that mental control he has of Harry, and he thought Harry would do as he said. Maybe everything that Harry had done. Oh, 1 and 1 equals 2. Now I got it. Because that same thing, whatever he tells Harry to do, Harry does it. And that comes with the swastikas, the Nazi costume as well. That's the thing that I'm getting here. Yeah, He had mind control of Harry, and everything he tells Harry to do, and Harry does it. But this one, Harry would not listen to him, and thank God for that. Yep. I think I just got it. Okay. All right, let's continue. I'm laughing at myself, thinking, plug in these little bits and pieces, dysfunctional craziness of these people. All right, Harry's family. All right, so it's too fast, he told me, too soon, he claimed. In fact, he'd actually been pretty discouraging about my event dating Meg. One day, sitting together in his garden, he predicted a host of difficulties I could expect if I hooked up with an American actress, a phrase he always managed to make sound like a convicted felon. There's that thing with coming out of Kempton and all of this. So yeah, that was all William. Wow. And thank God Harry's stuck with his gun and said, this is the wife that I want. And he knew, like I said, there's another thing too. He knew he had to marry Meghan quickly. That really confirms some of the things that I've said as well. Let's see here. There's two sides to every story. Time for William to step out of his royal parameters and tell his side. Yeah, he should. Okay, I hope he does, so we can all laugh. All I want is my book to arrive. The tiny leaked bits are shooting up my curiosity levels. Okay, the leaks are a fraction of what's in the book. Trust. Okay, remotely, he is with small children. My respect to those who honor responsibility as the men of the house. Oh, please, he had time to go smell the roses. Why couldn't he bring the kids? This is family. This is family. Why can't he bring the kids? I'm sure Harry would be more than happy. Don't make excuses. He could easily... This is not a formal function for the public. The kids could have easily showed up. Oh my goodness. I'll go into that so it's being responded here. Small children, yes, but also a wife, nannies, and a full-fledged staff. There's another aspect of it. Do you think he had never spent a night away from his children in the 7 years that he was married to Kate? Okay, what is this Harold stuff? Is this one of Harry's million names? I could understand some people and a family called each other differently. Okay, a nickname or something. Girl, I guess they joke about it on Dax Shepard podcast. Okay, also, I never wanted to read a book so badly, and I am a bookworm. Okay, Sam. Alright, let's go back to this. Let's see if it's all of it that is responded. Small children, I read that. Yep, the list can expand. By the end of the day, the man made a choice based on his priority. We too want to be respected on our choices. He deserves as much. We can agree to disagree though. Up to you. Good day. Like I said, if he wasn't William his best man, okay, shouldn't this be part of the best man duty? Let's not forget that part as well. So Harry put up with this nonsense. Okay, Harry could have easily said, no, since you don't want to be, let me make somebody else, or just stand by himself. Stand by himself to be by the altar waiting for Meghan. Okay, or call Nacho and say, Nacho, can you stand next to me as my best man? But because of the firm, okay, because of the firm, he put up with this BS standing next to him. Okay, this is the takeaway that I'm getting from it. The nonsense, the freaking idiot next to him who didn't even want him to be married. Okay, this is somebody who's gonna defend the Church of England, and then he's lying under his teeth. He himself could have declined and said, I don't want to be your best man. If he was so badly did not want Harry to marry, he should have said, I don't want to be your best man. That would make it much easier. But no, the facade he wanted to paint that he's a good guy, and then backstabbing, trying to stop the wedding, bring all the half-sibling to come and talk to smear Meghan's name. Okay, all of this. They put up with this BS. He shouldn't stand next to Harry during the wedding. Okay, you clown. They have nannies and staff galore. Yeah, that too. Yes, I understand that. Okay, it's true. They could have, like I said from the beginning, if it was an event for the firm or to meet with the people, I could understand that. I will not give him any pass on that. I mean, I will not blame one bit. But if it's him hanging out with his friend or something, Or if he feel like he's busy or something, guess what? It's family members. Bring the kids. What is it so bad about? There's no excuse. This is family. I'm sure Harry and Meghan would be more than happy to see the kids. Okay? So there's no excuse here at all. No excuse. The only excuse if it was for event for the firm. That's the only excuse I will give him. And then he could easily tell Harry, can you reschedule it for a different time when I'm not doing such and such. Okay? So there. Next tweet. And this is my last one. Okay? Rude, difficult, and abrasive are literally words used by abusive men to describe a very strong woman who won't put up with their shit. William is an abuser. Look at this. He didn't even want Harry to marry Meghan, so he had his own issue. Whatever it is that's going on in his head, okay, we pretty much know what it is. So he knows this is after he punched or whatever, threw Harry on the floor or something like that. He didn't want Harry to tell Meghan. He was afraid. He's a chicken shit. Alright, moreover, Prince William was insulting a vulnerable, heavily pregnant woman. Meghan was pregnant with their first son at the time. Okay, and the quote, don't tell Meg part. There's the looking at, yes. Alright, there's this. Oh,
there's another factor here too, that Meghan is a...
I shared this during the funeral. I talk about this. It's in one of the videos. I think I have his picture, the person who's talking, on the thumbnails. Let's listen again.
I think there's another factor here too, that Meghan is a very professional woman, and she's very American in that way. And the male-dominated culture, the royal household, doesn't like the kind of terms that they would use there, pushy and pushy American. They don't like push.
He's spot on. He is absolutely spot on. Does Harry sort of mentions similarly in the book. He's spot on.
Americans, meaning that they don't like professional people who work hard, and a lot of the Debbie kind of girls who get to work inside the palace work from about 9 to 12 and then take the rest of the day off. And Meghan was very impatient with that. She wanted...
There it is. Because he knows Meghan won't put up with this shit. Okay, that level of respect he was looking for, Meghan wasn't putting up with that shit. That's the idea that I get. There's someone who's gonna be king and he's afraid of Meghan. Don't tell Meghan. And there's this guy saying exactly that. Let's listen. I move it back slightly.
Wanted to see a new work ethic, maybe a work ethic as strong as the Queen's herself. I think there's another factor here too, that Meghan is a...
Alright, so it's repeating. Let's see here. Okay, as one former royal aide told the Telegraph, quote, I think what I can't see this part because the thing that's recording my screen is there. We've seen maybe a clash of cultures rather than a serious falling out between anyone. You have to remember that when people join the royal household, they ultimately expect to be serving queen and country, not necessarily an American actress. There's that key word again, American actress, who has starred in a legal drama on the telly. There is a great deal of goodwill toward Harry, but Meghan is still a bit of an unknown quantity. Yep, that's William probably saying things like that to the tabloid. In my humble opinion, knowing what we know now, there has certainly been some anti-Americanism expressed, quote, below stairs, end quote, with some of the more catered quarters giving it 5 years amid suggestion Harry is punching well above his weight. There's that. Okay, Harry is proving everything he said is true. Okay, so much of the praise Kate got in the press was about how she reduces herself to make William feel better as a man and the heir. I'm sure encountering a woman who didn't feel the need to lower herself to make him bigger made her rude, difficult, and abrasive to this bully. Okay, I can imagine she was setting a bad example for Kate, who had already been trained to sit down and shut up. That is true. Okay, a mom of 5 speaking unkindly about someone's child. Be a positive role model for your 5 children. Also be careful, Israel. Okay. Meghan was not a submissive spouse to William, who had never before been challenged in any way, wanted her gone. Exactly. William is clearly used to everyone walking on eggshell around him, groveling and bowing to him his entire life. He seemed to control everyone and everything around him. And then Meghan showed up, I know, with her unapologetic confidence and deep wisdom, and he had a meltdown. That's exactly what I see too. I agree with this person. I'm sorry, I was laughing in between. This is why I show what's on the screen, whether I pronounce it right or I'm laughing. You could look at it yourself. This is exactly what I got. He seemed to control everyone and everything around him, and then Meghan showed up with her unapologetic confidence and deep wisdom, and he had a meltdown. I'll go into that. That's for comment. Let me read what's on the screen and then move on. Go into that. Actually, this is my last tweet. Okay, I have been called difficult and rude before, always by people who feel threatened by me asserting my boundaries. If I was a man, and I'm sure just be labeled assertive and forthright and not judged negatively for it. Okay, exactly. And the Don tell Meghan confirms it. Okay, exactly. Let's go into that. This one was a good one. Okay, well said. He's a typical white man then. Yep. All right, so that's it. Let's do a prayer. There's so much going on. I decided not to share a lot because I need to finish all of this, and I don't want them to pile up. I want to, because tomorrow is Sunday, the interviews are starting to pop up, so I want to make sure I have that slot open, not too busy editing. Let's do a prayer. Prayer for control of one's path and protection. All right, protection is always good for the Sussexes, okay, and ourselves as well. All right, let's see here. Oh Lord, our redemption, be our protection. Direct our minds by your gracious presence. Watch over our path and guide us with your love. This is perfect. I love that one. Let's look for an image to put on the thumbnails. Let's do this one. My eyes stare at this one. Okay, Heavenly Father, thank you for being an overcoming God. I know I can take heart because you have overcome the world. Empower me to rise above my circumstances. Help me cast my anxiety on you because you care for me. Give me your power to overcome. Thank you for giving me the victory. In Jesus' name, amen. I think that's good. All right, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And when you see, when I'm at the beginning of my video, when you look at this screen, keep your eyes on this number, because my numbers of viewers have been increasing, but that estimation stuck on that 600. I don't know what's going on. So YouTube is not really compensating me for what is definitely required of me, you know, what I deserve. Let me see, analytic. Let's show this part. Very rarely I show this part. There's no major thing that, I don't know, I'll try to blur anything, but this is here. All right, there's here. Your hard work paid off. Publishing more helped your channel get 116% more view than usual. Okay, your channel got 125,699 views, more than the 39,500 to 69,900 is usually get in 28 days. All right, so there's this telling you my channel is growing, but it's stuck on $624. I've had $600 before when I wasn't even getting that much views, so there's no way it should be in that number. This is why I show you guys the background of my channel, right? Because YouTube is not only suppressing some of my thing, despite I don't even promote my channel. I don't do anything. It's you guys who promoted it, because you know what I'm all about. I don't promote it, so I don't get those derangers. I see them and I just block them. I respond when they respond back with their stupidity. I give them a chance. Okay. When they respond back with more stupidity, I just block and delete their stuff. But you guys are still watching, you know, you tell me how you feel about my channel. We have little discussion. If you don't understand certain things, you disagree with certain things, I understand this kind of thing. But I don't go out of my way to promote it because I don't want to attract derangers, because I can't deal with derangers. That's it. I went a little bit too far. Beyond. That's it. Thank you for watching.
For me, it's an added member of the family. It's another team player as part of the bigger team. And you know, for all of us, all we want to do is be able to carry out the right engagements, carry out our work, and try and encourage others and the younger generation to be able to see the world in the correct sense, rather than perhaps having a distorted view.